Yo, all right. What's up, bro? It's Kyler back here, or some of y'all know me as Delta. It doesn't really matter to me right now. That's not what this is about. So currently I'm feeling like shit. I feel awful. My body, it's not really doing what it needs to do right now. I mean, it's still operating. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful for that. Currently or recently, I just had like a migraine, and my body has been feeling a little meh. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling like super icky. And I don't know if it's just like a normal, like emotional thing, not really normal, but an emotional thing. Or, of course, like, I was a little bit dehydrated or whatnot. That's a whole nother story within itself, right? But yeah, I'm just recording this video here because usually whenever I have like any type of bad event happen or any type of like deep thoughts, I usually end up like burying myself into something. Say for example, video games or say for example like sports or any type of physical activities. I really like bury myself inside of that. But currently, again, I'm sick. I really don't feel like doing that shit. I I don't know what it is about it, bro, but part of me is just like, hey, bro, just go like record a video of yourself. It might make you feel better. I really don't know if this will help me, but we're gonna see if it does. Um, Again, as a man who really had to like figure out how to navigate emotional issues or emotional problems on his own. My father wasn't really like around like that. He was there, but he wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like living in the house. He wasn't really like actively like communicating with us. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But I really had to figure out how to convey my emotions on my own. A lot of the times, again, I was able to put it in different outlets like sports or, again, sports, weightlifting, all these other things, especially like my academics or even like video games. I've been able to do that. But again, like I kind of said already, I've been really, really ill, not really ill, but I've just not been feeling my best. And I feel as though, again, this is a better way for me to output those emotions. Now, speaking about the emotions I've been feeling, one thing that I'm really always going to stress, do y'all hear that ambulance outside? Anyway, one thing I'm always going to stress, it's super important to stay connected to your family. Family is really, really important. Family's always important. I didn't realize how much I missed my family or how important I realized family was until literally this weekend when I was feeling like sick as shit. My mom, why is the thumbs up doing that? My mom, she just beelined it down here. She came to see me, and of course, like my sister, she was also in the area, and she also came to see me. And my brother also, he got me these screeners because at the time I was very, very light sensitive, especially with the migraine going on. I was super, super light sensitive. I couldn't look at any screens. I couldn't look at anything. And then he beelined it down here as well and gave me these screeners, and I was like, bro, right. So first things first, family is super, super important. Always keep your family as close as you can, especially if everyone, is treating you correctly and doing everything right. I know sometimes it's very, very difficult and to stay in the loop. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just get like sucked out of things. You're like too worried about work, or you're too worried about school, or you're too worried about sports, or literally anything else. But it's important to keep those relationships alive. It's important to have those people around. It's super duper important. The next thing I want to go through. So this week, again, it's really been like all over the place. I've lost quite a few people who meant something to me. People that I like knew, people that I grew up with, people that I was like beside. A lot of the times people don't really like take that into account. Especially if someone passes away. Sometimes people just kind of like try to brush it off or try to like move on, like nothing happened. But sometimes it's good to address these type of things, and that's what I'm going to be doing right now. So first off, not even about recently, but like this was like years back, years ago. My friend, I'm just gonna call him the alias of Z. If anyone knows me, they know exactly who Z is. Me and Z were like this, right? Z was my childhood friend. Literally, I believe Z was the first friend one of the first friends I had ever made, like ever, on my own volition, like no assistance from my parents. He was the one of the first friends I ever made on my own. And it was kind of crazy on how it all happened. I really don't remember where exactly we first met. The only place like I really vividly remember, of course, like we had like rec league games, like when we were growing up. So I was like 3, 4, 5, maybe, like rec league sports. I already ran into him there. I already knew him. Uh, Everyone kind of had a nickname for him, like Big Country. He was huge. He was a big kid. He was a big dude in general. Super funny dude. Extremely charismatic, extremely funny. Yeah, and we even went to the same like babysitter. Like growing up, like I want to say when we were like in elementary school, we literally would just get off the bus at the exact same time and go to the same babysitter 24/7. And he would always be there. His dad would always be there. Shout out his dad. RIP him as well. We would always go to the babysitter. We would do dumb shit. Like we would, we would literally just like eat snacks, fuck around. Like they had like a little playground on the side area of the house. So we would just fuck around, play like Wipeout over there, bro. Just do dumb shit. Just do things that kids are supposed to do. But that was one of those bonds where like you can't really like fake that bond. You can't fake the attachment that you had to that person. You can't fake the friendship. That's some real friendship that you'll never be able to replicate again. Not saying that I don't have any other close friends, but he was one of my first friends. That was one of those things that will never ever be touched in all of time. I don't care. It's like for example your first relationship, like your first love. Pause on that because he's a dude, but it's like your first love, bro. Like it's one of your first brotherly love moments. Like you'll never be able to replicate that shit again. And like about 2-3 years ago, he passed away. It's very unfortunate. The last time I spoke to him, like during that time, it was like I want to say like maybe like a week or two before that. It wasn't anything crazy. We were literally just checking up on each other, just sending each other memes and shit, just doing dumb shit. But again, like normal friend things. And I would have never, ever thought that he would pass away. That wasn't the first thing on my mind. He was literally getting his life together. He had his welding stuff down. He had his welding certification down. He was doing his thing. He was trying to go back to school. Especially he wanted to play football as well, because that was one thing that he always wanted to do. He always wanted to play football. That's one thing we always shared as well. Instead of going straight to college and playing football, he had obligations. Like he had to take care of his family. He had to take care of people, something that I didn't have to do, and something that I'll, of course, like never truly understand. I mean, I understand exactly why he did it, but I was very blessed and lucky to not have to do that, but he did. But yeah, he had to take care of his family. He had to get a job and shit. Like he had to do like normal adulting things. But at the same time, right, he not even on that anymore. He showed me many like great things in life. Of course, he showed me the value of family. He showed me the value of having friends. He showed me the value of all of that. Excuse me. He showed me the value of friendship, but as well as, the value of brotherly like bonds or bonds with people in general. He was, again, like I said, and I keep saying it over and over again, but he was my first friend like ever. And the loss of him, it really opened up my eyes. It opened up my eyes to like nothing's promised, bro. And I also repeated that shit in another video I had, literally my accountability post, which don't talk about that shit. That doesn't count. It does count, but we don't talk about that right now. Anyways, but yeah, bro, he taught me a lot, and it really hurt when I found out he did pass, especially the way I did. Of course, like through phone calls or whatever, but it really sucks. It really sucked. And now I'm just sitting here like reflecting, my bad, bro. It's just difficult sometimes. I still can't really wrap my head around it. I don't think I'll ever be able to wrap my head around it. But yeah. But back on topic, like for real. Talking about keeping important people close. Recently, there were two people who were pretty close to me. Of course, one of those people passed away. I knew him from childhood as well. Also, rec league. Knew him from a really long time. Was really, really close friends with him in middle school. Like, we were cool in middle school. High school fell out a little bit. Was still really cool with him, though. Like, if I'd see him passing by, I'd be like, yo, what's up? He's still chill. Super chill dude. Cool guy. He passed away. And then also another guy I used to train with back in high school. Again, one of these things that I'm always gonna like realize is people who I was connected with in football. That's a different type of connection, bro. Any type of sports connection you have with somebody, or like someone was your teammate, or even if someone like you win against someone, you'll still have that connection, have that feeling, because you know them. I'm not gonna say on a deeper level, but you know them on a more personal level, bro. Because again, you have to see that person every day. You have to see that person every week. You have to go against that person. You have to learn that person's tendencies. You have to learn that who the person is. That's tough. You know what I mean? That's tough to absorb sometimes, especially if that person passes away. It's really not easy to deal with at all. You know? And in those scenarios, that's how I felt about him. He was, again, really cool guy from what I knew. King Light Skin of Doom, but he was funny. He was a funny ass dude. And he was always polite to me. He was always kind to me. I was always kind to him. Again, sometimes, I'm not gonna say we butt heads. We definitely wouldn't butt heads. But sometimes, again, people don't see eye to eye. But again, at the end of the day, we always knew what was best for our team, what was best for each other. I had nothing negative to say about him at all. I don't know if he had anything negative to say about me, but I'll never have anything negative to say about him. I know a bunch of people always like argue with him or did all this shit. I have nothing but respect for that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I have nothing for respect. And we're just gonna call him D. I have nothing but respect for you, bro. RIP you, bro. You didn't deserve that end. No one ever deserves that end. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. I promise, bro. You're a cool dude in my eyes, bro. And that'll never, ever, ever change. All right. Next. So another person also passed away. This one, he took himself out. Now, whenever I say that, I always try to, I don't want to say the word because, if I do post this somewhere like YouTube or TikTok or some shit, I don't fucking know. I don't ever want to say that word. But it was self-inflicted. So talking about my relationship with this person, we're just going to call him W. Bro, I'm not going to lie. Me and W, Mike, all right. So really, I knew W from way beforehand. Like, I was cool with him. Track middle school ahead of time. Cool guy. Super chill. Always funny. Always charismatic. Always sweet. Always just the light in the room. You can never really point at a moment of him being super negative. Like, he was always positive, always funny, always joking. Love that guy. I knew him from like middle school, moving up, of course, high school, play high school ball with him for a little bit. I even trained like for 1 or 2 summers with him. Super cool, hard, like very, 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 very hard work ethic. Always there on the field, always doing shit in the gym, always just giving forth full effort. And you can't teach that shit. You can't teach full effort. You can try to teach full effort, but no. Inside, he just had that shit. He just had that shit inside him. He just had that dog in him, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And that's exactly why he got as far as he did. Because, dog, the drive that man had and the faith in God that man had, man, insane, bro. The most admirable person I like. Literally, bro, I'm not gonna lie. The most admirable person I could ever meet. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very, 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 very respectful. Very, very, very respectable. Amazing person. Um, but yeah, 10 out of 10 person. He would always check up on me. Literally, I remember my senior season, right? He was already off in college or whatever, but my senior season, he literally messaged me and he was asking how things were going. Like, no one ever like did anything about like that for me. Like, no one ever came back and checked on like people like that. No one ever checked on, but he checked up on me. I know he probably checked up on others as well, but that's just the type of person he was. You know what I mean? Like, even though he didn't know me like a crazy amount, he was always like, yo, bro, how's your season? How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your body doing? How's your mind? How are you doing? Hey, bro, just make sure, you stay on top of what you got to stay on top of. Just keep grinding, bro. We're grinding up here too, bro. I got you. We're good. We're going to, if you ever need anything, please let me know. And that's also another thing that I took away from him. Just always being like, always checking on people. Always checking on people. Always make sure people are good. Yeah. Always doing that was super duper important. Now, when I heard he had passed, it bothered me. It really bothered me. Especially the way it was. No one, again, like I said, no one ever deserves to go out like that, bro. I swear, no one ever deserves to go out. He had so much light, so much positivity to spread. You feel me? So much just him, and he positively reflected on so many people. And I'm personally sorry I wasn't able to make it to like the candle lighting or funeral or anything like that. Again, when it comes to that type of stuff, I'm a really big I'm not gonna say I'm a big fucking baby, but sometimes I just can't do it to myself, because if I do, I'm literally just gonna set myself over the edge and I'm gonna lose my shit. But it just showed, man. And this is just a personal like talk to him. It ain't even about y'all right now. Yo, W, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you, bro. Thank you for showing me the way, showing me how to do things, showing me the work ethic, showing me that it's possible. Everything is possible if you put your mind to it. If you really like sit down, grind, and do what the fuck you got to do, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. Even if you start at ground zero. Even if you start at ground zero, bro. Like the story of the tortoise and the hare, bro. The turtle and the hare. Bro, the hare is going to go off quick. But the turtle, he put in that work. And he was grinding. It took him a really long time to get there. But he still got there. And he won. He won the race ultimately. Instead of like sputtering out real fast and just being tired and lollygagging, bro, he won the race. You feel me? And you were able to do that. And I believe if the situation wasn't how the situation was, again, I can't speak about the situation because I really don't know exactly what happened. You won. No, fuck. No, you won in my eyes. Fuck all that. Forget all that other shit. You already won in my eyes. Now, that's probably not what you want to hear, because again, you're still grinding. But for me and for everyone else, bro, you won, man. You won. You won in the hearts of so many people. I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. That shit ain't. I'm so sorry, bro. Like, for real. But yeah, nobody ever deserves to go out like that, ever. Nobody. Now, on to the next order of business. My health. My health, bro. For the last week, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I felt like dog ass. I'm not gonna lie. I felt awful, 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 awful. Um, my eyes have been bugging. They're doing a lot better now. Minus the screen even they're doing a lot better. My head has been a little bit all over the place. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say I've been like depressed and shit, bro. Because I'm not gonna say I don't believe in depression, but I understand why people be like sad and depressed. A bunch of shit happened, and a bunch of shit I can't really control myself, obviously. But sometimes again, it's a lot to process sometimes. Now, when something's difficult to process, of course, everyone has their different ways of addressing it or whatnot. But it's important that you do address it. It's important that you do something about it, or you say something about it, or you say something about it to somebody. It's important that you do that, because if not, you're gonna end up like me, and it's gonna end up affecting your physical health. You know what I mean? I believe that's what's also happened to me. It's been affecting my fucking physical health. It's not good for you. It's not good for you, man. You gotta let that shit go. You gotta talk to somebody. You gotta talk. Even if you're doing what I'm doing right now, and talking to a camera or something, you gotta talk it out somehow, so you can have some sort of peace with yourself. Because if not, bro, that shit's just gonna build up inside of you, and you're just gonna end up like me, and you don't want that to happen, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You do not want that shit to happen, because this shit, it's negatively affecting me. I don't feel like going outside. I'm sitting inside with these fucking shaders on, light sensitive as fuck. Dog, this shit ain't good for you, man. You gotta make sure you drink your water, which I'm thirsty as shit. I'm gonna take a little sip. Y'all ain't see that. Anyway, it's important that you take care of yourself. I know life gets hard. The going's gonna get tough. A lot of shit can happen. A lot of shit that you cannot control is going to happen. A lot of opportunities in life, they're gonna like be pulled away from you. They're gonna be taken away from you. It's important to know, for one, everything happens for a reason. Two, control what you can control. And three, just try your best to be happy, bro. And I know that's hard. That's hard as fuck to say, especially when I just said all this morbid ass shit in this story. But positivity, bro. Positivity will get you a long, long way. And I know you're probably sitting here looking at this video. You're definitely not deep in this video like this. But you're just like, damn, Unc, you sitting here, bro. You're being sad right now, bro. Once this video shuts off, bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. I'm going to probably take a nap because I'm feeling a little flustered right now. I'm probably going to take a fucking nap because I'm tired. But ultimately, I'm going to try my best to have a positive outlook on all of this shit, bro. And that's what's really important here. Trying to have a positive outlook. Damn. I'm not going. Oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah. Positivity is important, man. For real. But all in all, moral of the story from all of this, mental health is important, y'all. Talk to your loved ones. Conversate with your loved ones. If you have a random urge to call somebody, bro, just call them. It probably happened for a reason. Just call them. And life, it's not easy. Life is not easy at all. Life ain't easy. Not even close to being easy. Nothing in life will ever be like super duper easy, bro. Unless it's like too good to be true. Don't get fucking scammed, bro. Don't get scammed. But yeah, bro, life ain't easy, bro. And that's okay. And that's okay. But if you need help, get help. Ask for help. Don't be silent, bro. Do something about it. Say something about it. You don't want it to be too late. Morbid ass ending, but that's the truth, y'all. Please stay safe. Please stay blessed, bro. And if you ever need anything, please feel free to contact me. Contact anyone you love. Just contact somebody, bro. Fuck. Please do, bro. Please, bro. God, bro.